What is going on, guys? It's David Clayton of KZR Racing once again, and welcome back to my F1 Manager 22 career mode for round number 18 today at the Japanese Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the last episode, do feel free to check out my channel. The playlist will be there. Not a lot of admin to get through, only 4 days from Singapore to now, but we'll have a quick look at the emails. Post-race debriefing. Well, they say it was a difficult race, but yeah. Not going to read too much into that. To be fair, though, we did have a good race. Several cars may have retired in that, but still, we were in the positions we needed to be in to get the best result we could. But it's not where we want to be, considering everything we've done. We've got some development points. We have 2 for Jack now, so putting him in the car is putting him in the car for FP1 was definitely worth it. So we're going to upgrade use both of his development points on smoothness, because he's pretty okay. His actual pace isn't too bad, actually. 82 reactions, 75 for braking and cornering. Accuracy and control is not bad. It's just his consistency for smoothness we need to work on. But we're going to run him for a couple of years as a reserve driver and just keep doing what we're doing, basically. Just get him up to scratch and then put him in the car ready for the next season. Not next season, the season after. But he's actually been doing pretty good, actually. He did well in his first practice session. He was only a 10th off Sebastian. So that's nothing really to sneeze at. We've got development points for our staff as well. 1 for the technical chief. We'll put that on the front wing. We've got none for the aero or the engineers, so that is okay for the moment. Lance Stroll's contract ends soon. I'm well aware of that. Board check-in. They have low confidence in your leader. The board reviews in 2 months. As we stand currently, it will be, unfortunately, a negative one. You need to improve our race performance, meet the objectives that the board has set as a team, and stay within the budget and cost cap, which we have done. The last 2 things, it's literally just the performances, really. But that one bad race at the Dutch Grand Prix where both our cars took each other out, that pretty much has put us on this low point at the moment. So we've got to do the contracts for Stroll and Sebastian. I'm going to try and do Sebastian before this race if I can. So at the moment, it's going to have to be a hefty contract because he's not going to stay with us he's not going to stay with us otherwise. So okay, and we have re-signed Sebastian. I had to drop his bonus threshold down to 17th because where we are at the moment, it's not looking good. But we've got him for another 3 seasons, so I'm very happy with that. It's going to cost us a bit of money, but with the plans that I've got laid out, I really, really want to get Sebastian another World Championship before he retires. So we will renew that contract, and Sebastian Vettel is now with us for the next 3 years afterwards. So very, very happy with that. In the meantime, we have... How many scouts do we actually have? Because I believe now is the best time to start looking for another driver for Stroll. I'm going to skip ahead now because I'm going to keep you guys in suspense until the end of the season as to who I want to sign. But I've got some ideas. And he's definitely having a better driver will put us in a better position to have to challenge for points. So I'm going to leave you guys to guess. I'm going to have a look at two potential candidates in regards to our driver. But for now, I'll skip ahead after I've had a look for myself, and we'll get through into what we want to do next. So we've done chassis, front wing. We haven't done the side pods or the suspension. So side pods. As you can see, we're going to go with more drag reduction on this one. So we're going to throw all the manpower we've got at this, and then bump up the drag reduction. We're not gaining as much in... actually, no, I don't want to mess with the airflow as much. So we'll keep that in the middle so we get some decent up on that. But that's probably the best. Engine cooling I'm not too fussed on because we're still gaining on it, but getting as much on the drag reduction as possible so we're quicker in the straights is definitely where we want the chassis and the side pods to be doing. So that's only going to take 34 days to do, so we will do that. Actually, did we lose any parts in the last race? No. Nope, so we're all good on that. I'm so paranoid about the parts now. We keep having these accidents. So as you can see on the right, we got the rear wing will be completed after Japan, so we can then move on to the suspension to give us a little bit more downforce. And then I'm hoping we can at least get a bit more research done on the underfloor again, and perhaps the rear wing before next year, or the front wing again before next year. But we'll have to see how that pans out. I'm starting to get the gist of where I need to go with the focus on the parts and that. So you have to be extreme on certain parts of the thing that you know it's going to be good for. So for the front wing you want low and medium speed, whereas the rear wing you want medium and high speed. And then the underfloor you want as well medium and high speed. But the side pods and the side pods and the chassis can just all be drag reduction. And I think the suspension as well is aiding in the downforce as well, so that could be medium and low speed. So you have two parts of the car doing drag reduction, two for medium and low and two for medium and high, so it balances the whole thing out. But at the moment, that is the best what we can do for now. So we're going to skip through, go through the race preparations. Yep, we're going to go through all the race preparations and everything, and see what we can do in practice.
Konnichiwa from the Suzuka circuit in Japan. This unique track is a favourite home for motorsports, and it welcomes us back this weekend. Get ready for exhilaration and speed with the Japanese Grand Prix. Drivers will battle it out this weekend on the snaking turns of Suzuka, the only figure-of-8 track in Formula One. High-speed downforce will be the name of the game here, if teams want to secure a place on that podium. This is it. We're down to the last few races of the season, and it's time for that final push. Who will be crowned champion at the end of it all? We'll find out soon enough. Let's get this underway.
Okay, so we've come to the setup screen, and we're greeted with rain in practice and rain in the race. So for the race, we probably won't know. We're not going to know more about that until we get there. But for now, same as before, we're going to put Doohan in the car, get him in for the first practice, get his experience up. We will then, simulate first practice. See how Jack does again. He should get a few more development points, so we can just keep updating him. So Verstappen, Leclerc, Gasly and Tsunoda have got penalties, both the AlphaTauris and Verstappen. Magnussen, and then, yeah, pretty much as expected. Sebastian a little bit quicker than Jack, but like I said, we're still building Jack up at the moment, so a little bit slower than Sebastian this time around, but we're not worried about that. So setup confidence 46-45. So we're going to go into here and see what we can do for Sebastian. What's he saying? Wow, 3 bads and 2 greats. So this is going to be this is going to take a little bit of work. So if you give me a moment, guys, I'll sort this out. Okay, we got it here for Sebastian. I was tempted to leave his oversteer and cornering where it was, but I'll see what a few little tweaks can do. So let's get out of here onto the hard tyres. Set the run plan up for 22. That seems to be the best way to go. So that's Sebastian done. Now as for Stroll setup with Jack, great on the straights, good, and then 3 bads. So again, a little bit of playing around to do. So if you give me a minute. Okay, we've got them close to the middle for Stroll on each of them. So do the same as Vettel. Put him out on hards for X amount of laps. Skip through to the end of the practice runs for this session and see where the guys stand. Okay, end of that session. It's bit of a sit rep. We've only managed to get Stroll up to 64 at the moment. Don't know what's going on with his setup, but Sebastian, we did have at 82 at the end of his first run. It's dropped to 72. So I want to see. Let's have a look to see where Sebastian's gone. Okay, so his cornering was great to drop to good, and his straights has dropped to bad. So we need to get his cornering back onto that green line, or closer to that green line. Leave the oversteer where it is. Braking stability and traction. We just need to sort out his straights and get them, get that back to where that was. So give me a second here. Right, we've got it roughly in line with where it should be for Sebastian. So we're gonna set him up for the session. Get him out on mediums to start with. Run plan 22 laps. Now, Stroll. What can we do with you? Okay, straights are now bad. Good, good. Right, let's see what we can do. Right, we'll see how that goes for Stroll. He's getting a little bit difficult for his setup knowledge. It seems to be either like off cue or something with his optimal setup window, but we'll have to see as we do his tyres and do the run plan. Then we'll skip ahead and see how things go at the end of this session.
Careful, Verstappen ahead, there's a crash.
Okay, we're just nearing the end of their second runs in P3, and we've just got a notification through that Verstappen has stacked it somewhere. He's still going, he's missing his front wing. Ah, it's the hairpin crash again.
Now we see Max Verstappen.
Through the corner into the hairpin, locks up, and there goes the front wing. Yep, pretty much the standard crash now for this circuit that we've seen so far. Okay, the end of the third practice. We did pretty well, actually. We got 12th and 14th when we were pushing as hard as we could. But more importantly, we got 97% on Vettel's setup confidence. Stroll managed to get up to 82 setup and 84 track acclimatization, which is not bad. So, heading into qualifying now, we've got pretty good setup knowledge. But like I said, we're still probably going to be where we were before fighting the Williams cars. So we'll cut through. We'll cut through to the end of the first laps and see how they do. Okay, we're just coming up to the end of their first laps now. Stroll unfortunately got held up behind a couple of cars that came out the pit lane when he started his lap. And Stroll unfortunately is caught, Vettel's unfortunately caught up to them as well. So that is very annoying. That's very annoying. So Stroll does a 1:31.4. Irrespective really, because I don't really know... yeah, Vettel got held up massively because of Tsunoda on his lap. So, yeah, that's a little frustrating, that. So, the guys are going to come back into the pits now, and we'll have to see... okay. I'll have to try and time this a little bit better for Sebastian
take it easy.
at the second run. Okay, 4 minutes to go. As you can see on the left-hand side, that's how badly we got held up. We're behind both the Williams cars. So that's not a reflection of our true place. That's just how badly we got stiffed with traffic. That's how badly we got stiffed with the traffic. So we're going to wait for a little bit because it's 1:28 laps. So no one's going to be going out before 3 minutes 15. So I'm going to send Vettel out first, so he doesn't get held up behind any cars for his lap. Then we're going to send Stroll out, and then hopefully when we go out, we won't end up getting held up by any cars that ruin our lap this time. Okay, just coming up to the end of the second runs now. Here comes Vettel. Ocon spun out late on, but as for Vettel, he's green in the first and second sectors, so let's see if he can improve. He does go better, but he doesn't go faster than Albon. Stroll, on the other hand, he only improved in the second sector, but he does get ahead of Latifi, but the Williams cars still haven't finished their laps yet. And Latifi does get back ahead of Stroll, so Stroll's starting at the back. And then here comes Albon. He's probably going to improve. He's got the two Hasses ahead of him as competition, so he will not go faster than Schumacher, so he's out with us, but he is a whole 0.3 of a second quicker than us. So I've got to hope we get a better start than we did last time. Otherwise, Albon's just going to streak away from us again unless something happens. So it's not looking good for us, guys. We have got a whole load of penalties that are going to be served, but that's
Here we are, folks.
that's pretty much that's pretty much not something that's going to be a factor, unless of course the rain is. So, and it's going to be raining the whole race. But unlike Monza, this is not going to be a no-stop race. The tyres ain't going to go that distance. So we are going to modify strategy A. We might as well. Let's. We're not going to need that set. So onto the inters, and then 23 laps is probably it. And then second set. Oh, is this going to be a two-stopper for inters? Right, I'm gonna put the one stop for Sebastian, because I'm gonna have to require him to go. So he could do the one stop if he goes light the whole race. I'm probably gonna have to put my faith in Sebastian to do that. So we're going to have to do that for Sebastian, but for Lance, I'm going to be a bit more daring with Lance. I'm going, if we go back out of here, I can actually just... Oh, no, I can't stick him in. I wish I could. I wish I could, but your reserve driver can only take part in FP1. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. But for Stroll, we'll have to see how this goes, because I'm going to... It may seem bonkers, but it depends on how the tyres behave. I'm going to put him on a 2-stop. I know it's crazy. It's probably not going to work, but what have we got to lose? What have we got to lose with Stroll? So we might as well give it. We might as well try it and see what we can do. Because even if I go light on his pace, he's not going to have the same amount of. Yeah, he's not going to have the same amount of tyre deg control over his tyre deg as Sebastian. I mean, I could try it, but I just feel having him on. Well, we'll start him on the 1-stop for now, and then see how it goes. But I may consider swapping. I may consider swapping him to the 2-stop, but we'll have to see how it goes for Stroll. In the meantime. That's all that's set up. We will bump in an extra lap of fuel for both guys, just so we got a little bit more fuel to play around with at the start. So we'll go to the grid and we'll see what the guys can do. We're starting 14th and 16th due to the grid penalty, so that's probably Magnussen and Sonoda that have dropped below us. So we'll have to see. But we'll go to the grid and see how the guys do.
A smattering of rain, and the driver's now in position and waiting for the lights. And there's Sebastian Vettel. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. There's Lance Stroll, down the grid. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. And we're just moments away now. The drivers are warmed up.
There's the green flag at the back. 5 red lights to a very damp Japanese Grand Prix. And we are away, so let's get Seb on to deploy
Use energy if you need
immediately.
Copy.
I don't even know where Albon is in this mess. Whoops. And we've only got Alpines ahead of us, so...
Aston Martin with a great play there.
And he did get Albon off the line, so...
Let's have a look.
We're not going to see much of it from this angle, but Sebastian definitely... Oh, Albon got a shocker of a start. And he's held up everyone in that queue, and both of us got ahead of him. So we're running ahead of one of the Red Bulls. That's Verstappen, obviously, then. So Verstappen's down here with us. But yeah, Albon had an absolute howler of a start. And as you can see, he's dropped behind Verstappen and Sonoda. He's way back. He's way back here. That's really, really... That's a shocker of a start from Albon. I can't actually believe that. From considering the starts that he's gotten recently, but I'm not going to complain about that. So we've got a sizable gap ahead of them now, thanks to Albon's start. And that explains why the Williams, for whatever reason, have started on the wet tyres. They've really... Are they gambling on more rain coming later on? Because I don't see anyone coming off the inters. Looking at that rain chart, which is similar to Monza, I don't see anyone coming off the inters. So I don't think Williams' strategy is going to pay off the way they wanted it to. That is a real shocker and a half. But anyway, we've got both our boys have managed to hold on at the start to their positions. So, and thanks to the wet conditions, it's not actually we're not actually being dropped by Schumacher. So Vettel's actually got a good chance to race Mick. We'll stick behind him for the moment. There's no point changing the strategy now, his driving style. Sorry, but the inevitability in the background, as you just saw there, Verstappen's just got past Stroll. Unsurprising, really. I don't really expect Stroll to fight that too hard, to be honest, considering where Verstappen is compared to us. But so we're going to follow Vettel and Schumacher, as Verstappen is now already on the back of us. But so Vettel's going to go through here. That's going to cut off Verstappen's line. He's not going to have the room to go for it down the hairpin there. That would have been a crazy move for Verstappen, especially with where he is in the championship right now. He can't really afford to be doing silly moves, especially with Perez up there fighting the two Ferraris to start this race. So as now we're going to go on push with
You can stop lift and coast.
with Vettel and just do a little bit of deploying. We're not going to do too much before we go back to neutral again. So I'm almost tempted to just back off and let Verstappen through and let him go after Schumacher.
Let's focus.
Yeah, Stroll's lost a position to Tsunoda. Like I said, not I'm not overly worried about that too much, but I will put Stroll onto push as well.
No saving required.
Get him to go through the fuel. Because, yeah, in the long run, we're not fighting the AlphaTauri, we're not fighting the Red Bull. It's just that I'm just leaving it down to them whether they can get past us or not. So, for now though, everything seems to be going well. No idea about the Williams strategy. Has still baffled me. The fact that Albon's already dropped 7 seconds behind, 8 seconds now behind Gasly. So I don't know what Williams were thinking with that strategy gamble. But it's all, they went for a gamble on the heavier rain coming. But the amount of light rainfall we're getting is outweighing the amount of heavy rainfall. So it's not really working out in their favour with that one. But in the meantime, Sebastian, he's only 1 second behind Schumacher. He's doing all right holding off the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri at the moment. I'm not, like I said, I'm not overly fussed if they do get past, but I'm kind of hoping they do, because I want them to go up and start fighting the Haas in front to allow us to get in the mix as well. So in fact,
Lift and coast will help.
I'm going to lift and coast. So I'm going to try and invite Verstappen, which is, of course, he's not going to do now that I've done that. So we might as well just keep pushing and see how we go in the race. But I kind of I know a lot of us are medium at the minimum doing the one stop. That's a definite. And what are we looking on tyre wear? I suppose I really should go on to light with these guys.
Back a bit.
Let them save the tyres. And there goes Verstappen there, finally. So Verstappen's now going to go chasing after Schumacher, which is what we want him to do. And it's a good thing I've gone to light as well, because I've noticed the rain is actually starting to go down, the amount of water on the tracks. So having them on light now is definitely going to pay dividends a little bit later. So we're going to hold on for the time being, as I'm expecting Tsunoda to come around the outside of us. As Vettel holds the inside line through 130R. But Tsunoda's going to hang it round the outside. And there he goes down the inside again.
Really?
Yes, really, Sebastian, but we're playing the long game here. I'm not overly thinking about that too much.
Alpha Tower regained a place.
We'll go on to deploy with you. I think I just noticed ahead as well, Verstappen did have a look at Schumacher, but then backed out of it. So we'll let these guys do what they need to do now. Magnussen in the background is still 5.8 behind us because he got held up behind the Williams starting on the wets, who are still on the wets for whatever reason, and Albon's 34 seconds behind, 35 seconds now behind Gasly. So this is going to be a bit of a long battle here, especially in the wet. And there we go, Albon's finally bitten the bullet, as has Latifi. They realised what a dumb mistake that was. So if we go on to tyres, we'll wait to see the confirmation. And eventually, I mean, I could just skip ahead, but we're at the moment, Vettel's dropped back a little bit from Tsunoda, but again, that's not too much of an issue at the moment, as Vettel's now having a look at, yep, there's the confirmation, they've finally both gone on to Williams. They even double stacked is how bad it was. So there we go, Schumacher has now been overtaken by Verstappen. Pretty straightforward and simple enough that was going to happen. So we'll let the guys carry on then, see how they do. They are dropping back a little bit, but at the moment I'm not too concerned with that, because it is raining and several people have made quite a few mistakes in the practice sessions, so they're not immune from making mistakes. Meantime, up front we got Sainz, the championship leader, is leading this race with Leclerc second, fending off Perez. And then we got the two Alfa Romeos scrapping with the two Mercs, and Zhou is once again leading the Alfa Romeo pair. He's been having a really good second half of the season, Zhou. I've been very impressed with how he's performed. He's been in the top 10 every single race from Belgium, I believe. I'll have to go and double check, but I think he has. And 2 of the last 4 races he's been in the top 5. So that's how good he's been performing recently. He's got his teammate behind him, Bottas, who in turn has got his ex-teammate Hamilton behind him. And then Russell, Alonso and Norris round out this train. And then 2.5 seconds back from them is Ocon, who's being hounded by Ricciardo. And Verstappen is already catching up to the back of them. So that's how much pace Verstappen's got in the tank. And then Schumacher, of course, has got Tsunoda for company. And then here we are with Vettel a little bit further back. We're starting to slowly drift away from these guys now. So this is going to be a very long afternoon at the moment. So unless something happens later on in the stint, I'm going to skip ahead. And there's Magnussen in the background catching Stroll as well as Gasly. So they're not. They're going to be on us pretty soon. So we'll let these guys carry on doing what they're doing, and we'll come back if anything happens. Okay, we just had confirmation. The track is now starting to dry slowly. We've dropped below the 1mm threshold for the tyres, and on top of that, DRS has been activated. So Vettel is going to have his hands full with a very feisty looking Kevin Magnussen, and Tsunoda's joining the party as well. So we'll get Sebastian on defend just to try and hopefully give him a little bit of breathing room. I don't think it's going to do much good. Magnussen pulls out to have a look, but he's not quite alongside, so that's all right for the moment. It's still raining slightly. The track water is going down though, but there is still more rain coming in the next lap or two. So I'm not too concerned at the minute, but right now it's just us versus these guys with Vettel. Stroll's already starting to drop back away. He hasn't got the same pace as his teammate today, but as you've already known as you've already known from the start of this episode, I am replacing Stroll at the end of this season. I'm not renewing his contract, so I'm not really too fussed about that. As the track water on the right hand side in the top right is starting to go back up again, so yeah, not too fussed about that. DRS is still active, I think, but it's going to be another one of those weird races that I'm really not too sure where we stand at the moment. We've got Schumacher still holding on to his position ahead of Tsunoda, but it all depends. Gasly now is having a look at Magnussen, so that's going to give us a little bit of breathing room. Really should go up to deploy because they are quite close.
Use energy.
But Gasly's going to be alongside Magnussen into turn 1. And it's going to be... Oh, they nearly touch, but is Gasly going to do it? Or is Magnussen... Magnussen's going to hang it around the outside. They're going to be side by side into the S's. Get rid of Sebastian's screen so we can watch this. And there we go. We got Gasly and Magnussen still side by side out of the S's up the hill as they head towards the Degners into Degner 1. Gasly's going to have the inside, and as they go through Degner 2, Magnussen is still there holding it round the outside, and now Vettel's going to cover off Gasly because Gasly's looking a little bit feisty now. Now they're still side by side. Half a lap these guys have been side by side for now, and every single move that these guys make is still side by side as they head to... We're coming up towards Spoon now, and these guys are still side by side throughout the entirety of this lap. As Magnussen, is he going to get it? Yes, he does. He finally fends off Gasly. But that was a madness, that was. And now Magnussen's going to be having a look at us. He's going to have a look around the outside of 130R. I got deploy on for Sebastian, but I think it's going to be futile as Magnussen comes up alongside us. He's going to go down the inside, and that's that move done. So we've gone from watching a good fight, and now Magnussen has just gotten straight back past us. But Sebastian, I've got him on deploy still.
Haas with an overtake there.
I've got him on deploy still. He's going to get his nose just not quite. No, not quite. We tried to make a fight of it, but unfortunately that's the writing on the wall at the moment. Unfortunately, we haven't got the outright pace, even in the wet to be honest, to fight these guys off for a long period of time. Especially without DRS, we're not going to be able to stick with them like we would do. So that's that's pretty much that. That's pretty much that fight over and done with. In regards to 1 and 2 stops, I'm still not quite sure. I still think some of these drivers, about a third of them, might be doing the 2 stop. I know the Williams are, but that's their own fault. Starting on the wets in the manner that they did. I still believe some of these guys are doing the 2 stop, and if we're doing the 1 stop, we'll gain position that way, but it all depends on them, really. I'm not too sure how that's going to play out, but for now, we're going to we'll skip ahead as Tsunoda's probably going to make a move round the outside in the same manner. He's going to get side by side with us, and that's going to give him the inside for the chicane. And right, we'll see if we can fight Tsunoda on this one. We'll see if we can fight him back. We got full deploy on for Sebastian. Get him up behind Tsunoda. It depends whether he's got the straight line speed to get alongside him. Not quite. That's we've got no downforce and we got a draggy car. Worst combination in Formula One, having a draggy car with no downforce. So yeah, we're back where we started, boys. Unsurprisingly, but that's the nature of where we are at the moment. So we'll skip ahead and see how if anyone makes any early stops for a 2-stop strategy. Okay, we've had the first couple of pits so far. Alonso has come in twice in the space of 2 laps. I'm going to ignore the pit request for Lance Stroll. I'm going to keep him out for one more lap. But Alonso pitted twice. I can only assume he picked up damage or put on the wrong set of tyres. But considering it's going to be raining for a majority of the race, I can't understand why he would put on dry tyres in this situation. But as for the others who have stopped, it's Russell, Hamilton, Alonso, and that's it. Those are the only people who have stopped so far. So it's going to be. They can't be doing the no stop. Absolutely not. They're on to like their 30. They're on to the high 30s of their tyre wear. They have to stop at some point. I'm just pitting now as the safe boundary, but yeah, we're going to pit with Vettel now, no matter what, and then we're going to pit with Stroll on the next lap, and then see where things go from there. Okay, we just skipped after the guys' pit stops, and there's been multiple cars involved in a crash, and the safety car is out. So,
Safety car.
The guys have already pitted. There's no point in bringing them in. So, right, we're going to put the fuel back down to balanced, and we're going to conserve the tyres. We'll go light on the tyres actually. We don't need to. Go too far on that. We'll leave them on neutral for the ERS. So, what on earth actually happened? Several cars are coming into the pack. Several cars are in the pits now.
Watch this.
Oh no, it's Ferrari Civil War. The 2 Ferraris have crashed out of the lead, and oh, that's got to be Sainz out of the race. Leclerc locked up and wiped out his teammate, the championship leader, and Sainz is out of the race. Oh, there's going to be some serious words in the Ferrari camp after that. That is unacceptable for Leclerc to be doing that, especially to the very person, not only his teammate, but the man he's fighting in the championship. So that's just changed the whole complexion of this. Here's Magnussen, Gasly, all these guys have already pitted and come out, but the safety car is there as well. They've all got to get past the safety car, as do we. We're just coming down the straight now, along with Stroll. So, we're not getting past the safety car. Are we getting past? Surely we got to get past the safety car. Well, the leaders are now in. Bottas is the last of the one. Verstappen's had to double stack with his teammate. Perez now leads this Grand Prix, and Verstappen is going to get up into second because Leclerc has had to serve not only a penalty but fix his front wing. Is Bottas going to get ahead of Leclerc? No, he's not. Leclerc's still going to hold on to that, but Hamilton's going to get ahead of both of them, and he's already made his stop. So, the 2 Red Bulls, Perez ahead of Verstappen. Hamilton's going to move up into third. Leclerc served his penalty, is in fourth. Bottas, Russell, Norris. Zhou's just come into his pit box, so he's going to get overtaken by Ocon and Ricciardo. And then Alonso all the way back here, along with Tsunoda, Magnussen, Gasly, Schumacher, sorry. Then we got Magnussen, ourselves, Stroll, and then the 2 Williams. But they've just let one of the Williams go. That's Latifi. Now here goes Magnussen. So we're going to get let through next. Yeah, so we're going to get let through next, and then it'll be the 2 leaders. So we, fortunately, not going to get held up behind the leaders in this safety car train. So that's a massive bonus for us. But we are going to be ways behind, because this safety car is not going to stay out for long. Yeah, this safety car is not going to stay out for long, so We're going to leave these guys here to let them build up their fuel and their ERS. And, yeah, this is going to be... this is pretty much us now. We're going to be on our own all the way back here for the rest of the race. Nowhere near the leaders, but... Yeah, that's... Don't be surprised if you don't see much else after this, guys. But this is where we are now. Okay, the safety car period ended, and literally not long after it just ended, there's been another crash. Oh no! It's Perez! Unbelievable! The second leader has gone off and straight into the tyre barrier. The second leader in 10 laps, I think that is.
They'll be questioning.
The second leader about 5 to 10 laps. I can't remember how long it's probably about 5 laps, but yeah, that's unbelievable. So now Verstappen's got to be worrying for his life now, because now he's in the lead. Oh, he's now in the lead. If I can get onto here. Yeah, he's in the lead. Leclerc's now just got past Hamilton. That didn't take him very long. So he served his penalty, and the safety car period has brought him back into it. But Verstappen now leads the Japanese Grand Prix ahead of Leclerc. Leclerc's going to get big on Sainz here, but you know for a fact Sainz is not a happy person. He is going to be absolutely livid with his teammate because of what's just happened. We're going to keep the boys on light. We're going to put them on push. We might as well. We're a ways back. Magnussen is like 8 seconds ahead of us. Perez is only just coming out of the pits, but yeah, that's Magnussen's already left us behind, unfortunately. So another driver's locked up somewhere. It's all kicking off in the second half of this race now. And there's another safety car that's come out. What on earth is going on here? This is absolutely incredible.
Safety car.
We're not going in the pits, but what on earth has happened this time? It's Norris who's crashed out at the same place.
Just take a look at the McLaren.
And he hasn't hit anyone. He hasn't been hit by anyone. He's literally in a gap on his own, and oh, double whammy. He's hit both. He's gone into the tyre barrier side on. Then he's hit the other one on the corner. So that's another car that's dropped out through driver error. And now we're going to have another opportunity to catch up because we got past the safety car this time before it came out. So we've got another opportunity to actually catch up to the back of the queue this time and see what we can do. I'm going to leave them on light for the time being. I'm not sure where everyone else is in retrospect. Actually, I'm going to put them on both on conserve. I need them to conserve their tyres because they're going to have an opportunity here.
Okay, copy.
But Sebastian, I'll need to put on harvest as well. I need him to harvest his ERS a little bit. Stroll's going to be all right for a little while, but yeah, this is absolutely crazy, guys. We've had 2 safety car periods in. We've had 2 safety car periods in the space of 3 laps. I think that was we were racing before they crashed. That is insane. Fortunately, we're not going to get caught by any of the Williams cars because they're in amongst the field at the moment. The TV's actually near us, actually, so that's how bad the Williams day has gone. But for now, we'll skip ahead to the end of the safety car period and see where we're sitting. Okay, we have now finally, we've caught up to the back of this safety car train. We've managed to conserve the tyres quite a bit while we've been here. Perez Perez has just caught onto the back of Latifi, but Latifi's going to get straight out of our way at the restart. So for now, and they've got Albon there as well. He's not that far ahead, and immediately the safety car period is coming to an end. So let's get these boys onto standard with their driving style.
Happy to push.
We're already on pushing. We've got plenty of fuel to push with.
Push a bit more. Yeah, okay.
And then for Vettel, we're going to try and be cheeky here as we go through 130R, ready to restart.
And when we restart, overtaking will be from the control line.
Get him straight on to...
You can use energy. Use energy. You can use.
Get him straight on to deploy. I want him to follow Perez through as fast as possible. We don't want to be stuck behind this Williams any longer than necessary. So there goes Vettel. He's going to follow Perez through on Albon as well. Stroll's going to be stuck behind Albon, unfortunately, but that's his problem, not mine. So I'm going to follow Perez through, and hopefully if he starts fighting Magnussen and Gasly ahead, we can get into the picture here with Sebastian. With 13 or 14 laps to go. Williams are out of the picture. They're a lap down on us now, so we don't have to worry about them at all. But as for Sebastian, I want him hopefully to get in the mix with as soon as Perez starts overtaking these cars. I'm hoping Vettel will be close enough to take advantage of it and start picking them off as well. So I'm hoping. Whether it happens or not, I don't know, but we're already getting dropped back a little bit here, but we'll do the best job we can, guys. We'll see what we can do. That's all we can do at the moment. Okay, we're just going to slow down a little bit here. We've got about 6 laps to go. Vettel, unfortunately, has dropped back from that fight as Perez has gone and overtaken Schumacher already. But Hamilton stopped again, and he's now directly behind Stroll. So we've got 14th place at the moment, Stroll 15th, but if we can get Sebastian to finish ahead of Hamilton at the very least, we'll get Stroll onto the fender just to protect himself from Hamilton. I will, it'll be another okay race for us.
Defend.
So... Stroll goes through 130R. He managed to keep Hamilton at bay there, so good stuff, Stroll. We'll go through here, put him on defend again on the exit, just to keep Hamilton at arm's length. He's right in our gearbox, so I don't imagine this is going to last very long. And indeed it isn't. Hamilton's already pulling alongside us, so... Go back to neutral just before we get to the corner. Stroll has tried to fend him off, but Hamilton just wasn't having any of that, and just forced us out wide. So we've done everything we could do there. Now it's just a question of it's just a case of what's going to happen with Sebastian now. So we'll cut through and see where we stand at the end. Well, just coming up onto lap 50 now, end of lap onto lap 50. Hamilton's now caught up to us, but Alonso has also pit. So this is most interesting. These guys pitted early and have gone for a very, very late two-stop, which I don't understand, in all honesty. I find that a bit strange that they've decided to do that, but it's given us... a couple of places to play with, but we'll see how it goes as the old championship rivals from 2017 and 18 go through the Degners up towards the hairpin. Sebastian's just going to hold on to this through here. We'll get him back onto neutral. He's got a little bit of ERS to play with now, but I don't know how long it's going to last with Hamilton looking as feisty as he is. So he's already carried up alongside on the outside of the spoon. Is he going to try and make this stick? I think he is actually. Yeah, he does. Swoop straight round the outside. Goes Lewis Hamilton. Round the outside of Sebastian Vettel at the spoon curve. That was actually a really good move from Hamilton. Regardless of the car difference, that was actually a really, really smooth move there from Lewis Hamilton. So, well, that's an unfortunate scenario. We're back down to P14. We are, in the meantime, Stroll has got Alonso for company. So let's get him on to defend, actually. I don't think it's going to make any difference because Alonso is, yeah, he's going to cruise up alongside. Stroll, try and hang around, but Alonso, yep, there he goes. It's just going to force him off the exact same move again. So now, Sebastian's got 3 laps to hold off Fernando Alonso. And George Russell. I didn't realise that. Russell's also pit. So, the Mercedes late stoppers really wrecked their race. They're out of the points now. And that's promoted Magnussen and Perez back into the points. This is, yeah, so much there. As, Russell's going to have a look around the outside of the hairpin. We're going to get Sebastian on deploy to try and fight this as best we can.
Energy if you need it.
I think it's going to be a fruitless effort because, yep, Russell's already through on the fresh intermediate tyres against our worn inters. That was never going to be too much of a. That was never going to be too much of a fight. See if Sebastian can do anything to stick with him, and the answer's no on that one. So, yeah, that's over before I even started those 2 battles, but we'll have to. It's just learning at the moment, learning how bad we truly are. Even on worn tyres, 43% tyres to. Okay, tyres half-life, fair enough. That might have been a bit much to ask, but at the moment, Fernando Alonso is hunting us down now. He's slowly but surely creeping up, and we've only got 2 laps to hold him off. So it's going to be a tough ask for Sebastian to do it. Meanwhile, Leclerc has been shadowing Verstappen. Started at the back of the field, and like he's been doing in real life, working his way up to the front to lead the race. Not as dominating as it has been in real life, because obviously Ferrari are a lot closer to Red Bull in the game than they are in real life, unfortunately. I know in terms of the real life, as they start the final lap now, in terms of real life, I know a lot of people at the start of the season were really looking forward to Leclerc and Verstappen finally racing each other for a championship in equally good cars. But unfortunately, as the season's progressed, Ferrari's strategy blunders and improvements to the car that Red Bull have made have been much more significant than what Ferrari have done, and it's just allowed Verstappen to just walk away with it in the second half of this season. They'll be going to Singapore this weekend, but in real life. But in the game, reversal of fortunes. The cars have been, the Red Bulls have actually been a lot better in the second half than the Ferraris have been. This has been like the first race where the Ferraris have actually been, in terms of one that pace, outright quicker than the Red Bulls, and they were for a period during the race. But yeah, Leclerc's blunder really put pay to that. Leclerc's blunder really put pay to that this race, crashing into the back of his teammate, and it has allowed Max Verstappen, for only the 3rd or 4th time this season, as he comes round 130R. I'm going to put Sebastian on to deploy because I noticed Fernando is right on top of him. Max Verstappen's going to come out of the chicane with Leclerc chasing him to the line, but Max Verstappen is going to win the Japanese Grand Prix for Red Bull. Leclerc will finish 2nd. And then we've got a yellow flag in these. We've got a yellow flag just popped up in the 2nd sector, I think that was. But Valtteri Bottas is going to take full advantage of pit stop blunders, and the leaders take themselves out to get third place for Alfa Romeo. It's the Alfa Romeo's second podium this year, I believe, actually. Ocon, brilliant fourth place for him. Ricciardo, equally brilliant fifth. Guan Yu Zhou, despite him going off earlier, manages to get back into P6. He manages to get into P6. Tsunoda back of the grid to points. Gasly back of the grid to points. Perez crashed out of the lead and only finished ninth. Magnussen back of the grid to points as well. Great race from him. And Sebastian, fair play Sebastian, he did manage to hold off Alonso to finish P14. You can say it was a struggle, Sebastian, but where the car is right now, that's a good result for us. But here's the result. Max Verstappen started P18 to win with the fastest lap. Charles Leclerc second. Valtteri Bottas, another podium for Alfa Romeo. Esteban Ocon, his best result of the season with fourth. Same for Ricciardo in fifth. Zhou, imagine what his race could have been if he hadn't made his mistake. Tsunoda and Gasly, again, back of the grid to points as well. Great race from the AlphaTauri guys in their battle against McLaren as well, especially with Ricciardo finishing in fifth. Perez, another driver, what could have been after the Ferraris collided. He only finished P9 after his mistake. And Magnussen scoring a point for Haas as well. And then for us, we managed to... still only ahead of the Williams, but we managed to get ahead of Fernando Alonso still after he made his third stop. That only happened because he made 2 stops in like 3 laps after the first stint. And then Norris and Sainz, within 5 laps of each other, crashed out and brought out the safety car. Norris completely on his own, and Sainz got torpedoed by his teammate while leading the race. That's got to be even more infuriating for the Spaniard. But it does mean, unfortunately, in the Drivers' Championship, Leclerc now leads him. He's back into the lead of the championship, 9 points ahead of Carlos Sainz. Max Verstappen, with his third win of the season, gets back ahead of Perez by a good 14 points now. Perez drops down to fourth. Hamilton, despite not scoring, maintains his P5. Alfa Romeo, but Valtteri Bottas has now gotten ahead of George Russell in the championship now with his third place. So Russell's really got to buck his ideas up if he wants to finish near his teammate. Alonso stays where he is in P8 despite scoring... he scored no points. That was Ocon. Ocon now, actually. He's gotten ahead of Gasly and worked up to behind his teammate now. And Gasly rounds out the top 10. Guan Yu Zhou getting closer to Gasly, though. He's only 2 points behind. So this is going to be an interesting battle for the top 10. In the Constructors, meanwhile, McLaren have gotten ahead of Haas. I thought AlphaTauri and McLaren were a lot closer, but it was actually Haas, sorry. Haas have now gotten ahead of... McLaren, have now gotten ahead of Haas with that 5th place from Ricciardo. And all the other teams are remaining stationed right now. Alfa Romeo have pulled ahead of Alpine as well in the championship, thanks to the double points that they scored. So, all to play for in the middle of the pack, as it seems. But for us, we're still focusing on just finishing ahead of the Williams cars at the moment. But with the new contract, unfortunately, we are paying Vettel a lot more now because thanks to this new contract, we've had to go big or go home with him. But that's the price we've had to pay for this. So it's going to be a consistent thing if the car's a little bit better next year. But I'm willing to, if we're qualified consistently, we can go for the objectives and get more income that will cover that. But it's going to be a hit for now, and the research on the rear wing is now complete, so we can get the research and development on the suspension for next year in the next episode. 11 days until the United States Grand Prix at COTA, We've got a big red exclamation mark next to Stroll, but we'll have a look at that in the next episode. So, yeah, few little bits and pieces to do for the next episode, but if you guys did enjoy the episode, do feel free to leave a like and a comment down below. It really helps. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications as well so you don't miss any of those videos. I'm David Clayton of KZR Racing, and we'll see you next time for the United States Grand Prix. Goodbye.